What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer, Tyler Horker from Blue and Gold. We are bringing back our Notre Dame football update video every Monday afternoon. We'll be posting a video talking about some of the latest developments in the world of Notre Dame football. If you want the recruiting videos, of course, we're going to have that. But for this video with Tyler, we're really just going to focus in on some of the latest kind of Notre Dame football tidbits, news, notes, all of those good things, kind of, and even what's going on at blueandgold.com. So before we dive into it, folks, of course, hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel for more content, and head to blueandgold.com, of course, for all things Fighting Irish football and recruiting. Use that promo code UND1 over on our website. So Tyler, you and Jack have been doing a really interesting series, rewatching Riley Leonard, of course, the former Duke quarterback who is now at Notre Dame for his final season of eligibility. And I believe you guys are doing both 2022 and 2023 rewatches. So enjoy watching all of that football. And I even pulled up one of your articles, and you even have these visuals. You're popping up on the screen. Here's Leonard with the strike over the deep up the seam for a nice gain. So yeah, what have been your impressions so far of watching Leonard doing this series?
Yeah, you mentioned we're doing 2022 and 2023. I actually did one from 2021 as well because we're just doing all 21 of his career starts, and he actually started one game back in 2021. So that game is obviously a little inconsequential. I'm struggling to, and I actually do remember now, that was against Virginia Tech. So it was a tough spot for him to be in as a true freshman. Duke wasn't very good that year. I think they finished with a losing record, so they were just trying some things. And Riley Leonard got a mid-November start at Lane Stadium, Virginia Tech. He actually played fairly well in that 2021 game. Didn't turn the ball over at all. Moved the chains on third down a couple of times. But like I said, Duke was just kind of a bad football team. That was pre-Mike Elko Duke. That was actually the last year of David Cutcliffe. So what we've seen in the last couple of rewatches that we've done, though, with Mike Elko coming in is just a guy who was kind of wise beyond his years as a true sophomore. We're going through the 2022 season. The clip that you just showed was from one of his starts early in September against Northwestern in 2022. And again, he's a true sophomore at that point. He brought one career start into his 2022 season. And I've just seen a guy who knows how to move the football, knows how to operate at the quarterback position, both as a runner, as a passer. Like you said, Mike, that strike that you just showed, really nice accuracy down the middle of the field. And I kind of went into these rewatches, and I'm going to continue to do so with some preconceived notions. Like if there's a knock on Riley Leonard, I think it's that he struggles to consistently hit those passes that you need to hit if you're a starting quarterback at this level to keep the offense on the field. And against some of the teams that we've seen so far, I've seen him do that. Obviously, the going is going to get tough. He's going to play the Clemsons and the tougher teams in the ACC, and we're going to see that in these rewatches. But so far, he's as advertised in these rewatches that we're seeing because, like I said, he can move the ball as a runner. He can move the ball as a passer. He looks like a very cerebral, very smart quarterback. And I think Mike Denbrock and everyone at Notre Dame is going to be happy to kind of be able to work with a guy like Riley Leonard because his skill set is so rounded. It's so versatile. You could do a lot of things with the Riley Leonard. And like I said, Mike, this is a true senior. It's not like we're dealing with a Sam Hartman where he's in his sixth year and you're kind of like, okay, this is who he is. He's technically probably still getting a little bit better. Like this is a big year for him because he is an NFL prospect and he has a chance to do what Sam Hartman didn't do and leave after 4 years of college football. I think that speaks really well of Riley Leonard and his skill set as a 6'4" dual threat quarterback.
So we'll check in with Tyler after that rewatch series is over to get an updated thought from him on seeing Notre Dame's quarterback for this upcoming season. Now, another article that you did recently was a way too early analysis of the different polls out there. So USA Today had Notre Dame at 6, and I believe that was the highest. Georgia, Bama, Michigan, Texas, and Ole Miss above Notre Dame. You got Sports Illustrated listing Notre Dame at 8. Athletic had Notre Dame at 9. Bleacher Report, Notre Dame 9. And then CBS 9, ESPN 10. And then it looked like PFF had Notre Dame at 11. So just looking at that, man, what was kind of reaction? Like, which end of that do you think is more, I don't know, realistic or fair at this point, from that 6 to 11 range?
I honestly think the low end is more fair. Like see how you could put Notre Dame as a top 6 team when they just lost 3 games. And I get it. Every year is different. Like, look at what Ohio State is doing in the transfer portal and what they've kind of done with their offseason. I think everyone's going to say they got a case to be the number 1 team in the country, where last year they couldn't even win the Big 12. I know that, or the Big 10. I know that they were an 11-win team, and that's the only game that they lost. But then you lose to Missouri in the bowl game.
Sure.
And I think everyone's thinking, how the heck can we have Ohio State as one of the best 2 teams in the country? But now, 3 weeks removed from the season, you're saying they probably one of the best 3 teams in the country, or 2 teams, 1 team, whatever it is. So when you look at Notre Dame, I think you do the same thing. You're saying, okay, they're 10-3. They played in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, which, by the way, I'm repping that right here on my sweatshirt. How can Notre Dame be a top 5 team if they played in the Sun Bowl and played Oregon State and all those things? I think off seasons are so crazy now that you can be, what was Notre Dame finished in the regular season AP top 25? I think they were in that like 15 to 18 range. You could have that type of year and then all of a sudden be one of the 5 best teams in the country the next year. So I'm not saying USA Today is wrong for saying, okay, this is the 6th best team in the country. I'm just kind of on the spectrum where Notre Dame still has to prove it to me. You can go out and get Riley Leonard. You can go get Mike Denbrock. You can bring in the most players that Notre Dame ever has from the transfer portal. I think 8 is the most that Notre Dame has ever brought in. And that's not over. Again, you have a spring portal window where Notre Dame could theoretically go out and get somebody else. So this could be a top 6 to 10 team in the country. But Mike, I don't know if you feel the same way. Notre Dame's got to prove it to me. Marcus Freeman has to prove it to me. This is a guy that went 9-4 and then 10-3. Go show me that you're 10-2 or that you're an 11-1 team and that you are in that 5 to 6 range, or 5 to 10 range. Right now, for me, I feel a little bit more comfortable putting Notre Dame in that 10 to 15 range, to be completely honest.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter though, especially at the 12-team playoff. So yeah, I mean, Notre Dame more than ever just kind of controls its own destiny. They can't get a top 4 seed, right? I think the highest they can do is 5, and then given their current setup, but still, so they can't control that. But they're just, I mean, everything's ahead of them. So whether they're listed at 6 or 25, not super important. But just in terms of like, yes, we are media guys, we're going to talk about this. I do agree with you. Somewhere 8 to like 13, 14, I think would be fair. But like you said, it's really, really kind of difficult to project this with all of the off-season moves. Speaking of off-season moves, a couple of Notre Dame players who have left the Fighting Irish and found new homes we want to talk about as we wrap up this video quickly, Tyler, is Ryan Barnes transferring to UMass. This is interesting, Tyler, because when he was being recruited by Notre Dame, I mean, he picked the Irish over Michigan and Clemson, a bunch of other schools. I thought he was like a lock to be like a really solid contributor to the Irish, just never really got on the field. I think he might have been just too much of a tweener between safety and corner. I could be totally wrong there, but that's kind of the vibe I got. And then you got Michael Carmody leaving Notre Dame for UCLA, and multiple guys leaving Notre Dame for UCLA, I believe. Rico Flores is out there, and then KJ Wallace. It was KJ Wallace, right? Left Notre Dame for Georgia Tech, and then UCLA. And so yeah. Quick thoughts on Barnes and Carmody finding their new homes.
2 guys just kind of swallowed up by depth chart, depth for lack of another word, where Notre Dame has so many guys at those positions. Obviously, Carmody is probably a tackle. I know he tried to play some guard as well, but whether it's tackle, whether it's guard, Notre Dame has a lot of guys at both of those positions. I mean, look, I know you're losing your 2 starting guards to the NFL, or 2 starting tackles, to the NFL, and Blake Fisher and Joe Alt, but you have Charles Jagasaw coming in here. It looks like Tosh Baker is going to stay around. Emil Wagner seems like the future at one of those tackle positions. Gerby Lambert's coming in as a freshman. So, I mean, there's just so many different guys at that position. And then you look at it with Ryan Barnes, and look at what Notre Dame has done at the cornerback position in the last couple of years. Benjamin Morrison's one of the best corners in college football. Cam Hart was here for the longest time, and he was a very solid piece. He's going to get drafted in the NFL draft at some point in the next couple of months. And then you have Christian Gray, who looks like the next superstar at the corner position, and Jaden Mickey is still there as well. So you've seen a lot of guys try to make it at that position for Notre Dame and just can't get on the field. And then the same thing with Carmody, like I was saying, it's so hard to get on the field as a Notre Dame offensive lineman. So they're going to places where they're probably going to play and play a lot more. And that's college football these days. You leave a place to go find playing time somewhere else. That's what those guys are doing.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on it. Subscribe to our channel for more content. Go to blueandgold.com for much more coverage of your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Appreciate you all. And as always, we will catch you next time.